Hello everybody, it's the Raven8425 here, bringing another video, and today we're going to be starting a brand new Dynasty on College Football 25. My first one on the channel other than the one I've been live streaming, and we are going to be rebuilding the Nebraska Cornhuskers, a team that used to be on top of the sport, especially in the 1990s. They've fallen on hard times in recent decades, and we're going to see what we can do to try to bring them back to the top of the game. Settings we're going to be going with for this dynasty, we're going to be playing on All-American difficulty. I think Heisman is a little bit just unrealistic, unfair. You have great teams losing to FCS schools just because the computer does everything right all the time. I feel like All-American takes all the overalls into account and creates a more realistic experience. So that's what we're going to be playing on. Now, if it gets too easy down the road, then I might be able to bump that up to Heisman. But for the start in the first couple of seasons, I definitely want to go with All-American. All the other settings are pretty much default. We're going to go with 6-minute quarters, 25 or accelerated clock on those quarters, and there's going to be 25 seconds left on the clock at least. We have full control. We're going to be doing recruiting. We're going to be progressing our coach and all that kind of good stuff. Now, as far as conferences go, I'm going to leave all of the conferences the same. I'm not going to be changing anything here for year one. We're just going to leave it how it is. You can see the Big Ten has a lot of teams, a lot of good teams. As we get into future seasons of the Dynasty, I'll be asking you guys, what do you think I should do with these conferences? How should I switch things up? But for year one, we're just going to keep it default. So now we're at the team select screen, where we're going to be picking the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Now you can see they are a 3.5-star program, right? Their program history is carrying them a lot, and obviously they're in a good conference with a lot of good teams. Gives players a chance to show, what they have in front of a national audience, in front of NFL scouts. So it's not going to be super difficult to scout or to recruit new players. But we're not a 5-star school like Michigan or some of these other schools in the Big Ten. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult for us. But you can see we're starting at 84 overall. So we can have some success right out of the gate. Win a national championship? Probably not. But this isn't going to be like a 1-star program rebuild. It's going to be a little bit easier than that. It's going to be a little bit different. But we are going to be playing in a very difficult conference. So this is going to be our coach for the Dynasty. Dama Kong Su is coming back to Nebraska to help rebuild this program, bring it back to the top. One of the best players in the program's history coming back to Nebraska to try to rebuild this team and make it one of the best teams in the country once again. That's what he looks like. Now we're going to go with the Nebraska playbooks to start. We'll see how that goes. I might end up changing that later. I've never used their playbook, and we're also going to go with the defense they run, which is the 3-3-5. But again, those are subject to change. Now, looking at the history of this program, things aren't as terrible as some other college programs, but you can see we just aren't at the same level, or Nebraska isn't at the same level they used to be. All right, in the 2000s, or in the early 2010s, they did pretty good. A couple 10-4 records, some bowl wins. But you can see in more recent years, in the late 2000s, things have just gone downhill. Since 2017, they haven't had a 6-win season. They haven't made it to a bowl game since 2016. So they're struggling. They're struggling hard. We're going to see if we can change that. So we're going to go ahead and sign our contract here, starting up the Dynasty. Let's see here. So we got a few things we got to do. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and look at the schedule. All right, so we start out against UTEP. That should be an easier game. We then take on Colorado at home. It says their 2023 record is 1-11. That's just not true, but we're going to change this FCS school. And then, of course, we have our conference games, the hardest ones being at Ohio State, at USC, and then at Iowa. But you can never discount any of these other Big 10 teams either. So let's go ahead and change this FCS school. I want to have more of a difficult game on our schedule. Increase the strength of our schedule just in case we could one day make it to the college football playoff. I think I want to play an SEC school. Now, who do we want to play? I think we should take on a good team from the SEC. I think we're going to take on Oklahoma. Now, if you can see here, we have currently 7 home games. So we got to make one of these a road. We played at Colorado last year, so that wouldn't make sense. We're going to go to Oklahoma and see if we can't take on one of our old rivals in the Oklahoma Sooners and take them out at home. Let's go ahead and save those changes. Now I'm going to go ahead and start to set up my recruiting board, but before we do that, I want to go ahead and upgrade my coach skills. I'm picking a motivator for my coach. I want to be able to progress our guys in the off season and see if we can just get better with the players we have right now. Let's start with the quarterback position, one of the most important positions in the sport. Now let's see what our coordinators have. Our coordinator is a motivator and a tactician, and then our other one is also a motivator and tactician. So we're definitely going to have to switch those guys out later on in the season because we definitely need something in the recruiter tree. So that's going to make recruiting year one kind of difficult. But I'm going to go ahead and set up our recruiting board, and I'll let you guys know what kind of prospects I find. Alrighty, so I just went through, I filled up the recruiting board with a bunch of team needs, including a lot of offensive line, a lot of defensive players. Let's go ahead and look at some of the highlights. First off, this quarterback with 97 speed, 90 throw power. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to get him. We're not even on his top 8 right now, but it's worth a shot. Looking over here at the running backs, we have a couple ones. I like this guy, 93 speed power back, because he also has 84 break tackle, 87 trucking. So not only is he fast, but he can also run through you. This wide receiver I found, this 99 speed deep threat, someone we're definitely want to go for, but again, not on his top 8. This other guy, though, we are in the top 8. He is a 5-star recruit with 94 speed, so I'd be happy with either of those guys. But like I said, we want a lot into the offensive line, left tackles, guards, centers, and a lot on defense, but nothing crazy special. We got this 94 speed corner, 93 speed corner, but again, we're not going after all 5 stars, but we are having a lot of good prospects here that are interested in coming here. So we'll kind of see where this goes. And we'll go ahead and head on to week 0, do a little bit of recruiting, and then hopefully get into a game. So for scouting in week 0, I kind of went ahead and DM'd friends and family of a lot of these guys, putting 25 hours into them. The max you can put into a player is 50, so I kind of wanted to spread the wealth a little bit and see where we get with some of these prospects. If we start to drop off on them, I'll just take everything off. If we start to rise up, I might take a little bit off so I can put it onto other players that we need to fight a little bit more for. Now, some of them I did put 50 on, like this 94 speed wide receiver. Some guys I really want, like these running backs and quarterbacks, you can really impact the team. This corner, I put 50 on. So some I did put 50, like this guard. We're fighting Wyoming. I want to just go ahead and annihilate Wyoming. He should not be going there. He should be coming here. And again, more 25s, more 50s, trying to spread the wealth a little bit, seeing where we can get with some of these prospects. So I'm going to go ahead and advance to week 1. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the preseason top 25. You can see there, Georgia is at number 1. You have Penn State, Notre Dame, Michigan. Just, some common names you're used to seeing in the top 25. Louisville down there at 20. USC at 25. Let's see where they project us to finish in the conference, the Big Ten. Big Ten. They have us projected to finish all the way down here. So I think that's 16th, 13th in the conference. So they don't have much faith in us this season. Let's see if we can exceed those expectations. Another thing I'm going to do here while I have you guys is go ahead and do our red shirts. Let's look through our roster and see who we need a red shirt for this upcoming season. Now, the freshman quarterback here, Dylan Raiola, we're definitely going to be starting him. He should be our day 1 starter. This other quarterback that we're going to go ahead and red shirt. I don't see these 2 quarterbacks getting hurt. None of our halfbacks can be red shirt except for this sophomore. I guess we could go ahead and redshirt him to see Dante Dowdle and start these other guys like the senior. I think that would be the smart move. Try to progress him a little bit further. These freshman receivers, we're going to go ahead and redshirt them, help them improve. This left tackle, we'll go ahead and redshirt these guards. I'm not going to redshirt senior. This left end. Right in. So a lot of our low overall freshmen, we're going to go ahead and redshirt just so they can progress a little bit before we have to throw them out to the Wolves. Got a bunch of corners here. Our free safeties. Strong. And we'll take more of an in-depth look at the roster here before we play our first game, but that's going to be our red shirts for year 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and do recruiting for week 1. So I want to bring you guys a little bit with the recruiting process. You can see here I put a 25 on a lot of these guys. You can see we're starting to pull away on some of them. Now, this guy didn't put anything. We fell down to fourth. We got 25 there, and you can see we're in the lead. Now, this guy, we put 25, but Texas Tech is going hard on him, so we're going to take that off, and we're going to send 50. We're going to send the house to try to bring up our chance of recruiting him to our school. This guy, we put 50 in. We did move up a little bit, so we're going to keep doing that and see what we can do. Now, this right tackle here, we didn't put anything, and he's still third, so we might have to look at that. This athlete, again, we put 50. Now we're super in the lead, so I think I'm going to take off some of that and just do 25 on him. So that way maybe we can come back and put, whoops, hit the wrong button. That way we can come back and maybe put some more on this guy. This halfback we put 50 on, we're still second place. This guy we're going to need to put more on if we want to have a chance at landing him. He is the, let me look here, the 94 speed corner, so I think we're going to go ahead and just do that now. Put 50 on him to give us at least a chance of recruiting him. This guy we're looking good on for right now. Here we put 50, we're on a battle with Alabama, but we still have a shot. This left tackle we're looking good on. Left guard, we were knocking Wyoming out of the water. I want to keep 50 on him for at least one more week. This guy we need to put 50 on if we have a shot at him. This guy's looking good, looking good. Him, we need to keep 50 on him. We should probably put some points on this strong safety. It's just where do we get those points? I think we're going to take it off the guard. I know I said we want to do 50 on him for one more week, but we got to put some points on the strong safety. So we'll put 25 on him. And that's going to be recruiting for week 1. Now let's take a look at the team before we get into our first game here against UTEP. So the quarterback is going to be the freshman, Dylan Raiola. 77 speed, 96 throw power, really good accuracies though. He's going to be a good pocket passer, but he still has the ability to, take it down and run with it a little bit. He's definitely going to be a quarterback we're probably going to build around for this rebuild, for this dynasty. At halfback, our starter is going to be the senior, Ramir Johnson. If I get any of these names wrong, don't yell at me, all right? He's going to be back up is Emmett Johnson. A fullback's a fullback. Now, wide receiver, we have Jamal Banks, Isaiah Neor, Malachi Coleman. I'm going to change this up a little bit because speed is king, as you guys know. So we're going to bring down the 89 guy. And we have this guy, Jalen Lloyd. I want to bump him up as well. So unfortunately, Jamal Banks is going to fall down to 4th on the depth chart. But unfortunately, in football games, speed is king, unlike in real life, where speed's important, but it's not everything. Tight ends are looking good. Our offensive line, let's see, 85, 82. We got a 79 center. They're looking pretty good too. All 80s except for a 79 center. Our defensive line, though, is looking kind of rough, although we do have this 85 overall defensive tackle. I know Dominican Sue's going to love him. He has 90 power moves, 89 block shed. He's definitely going to be a difference maker on that D-line. For outside linebackers, we got 80 overall. Stephen Thompson. I'm going to put Jalen Wright as our first middle linebacker because that'll be my user. He's a little bit faster. I can kind of get to where I need to be on the field a little bit easier. Makai Gabior. Tommy Hill, we have an 89 overall corner. He's definitely going to be a solid piece of this defense. Unfortunately, though, he is a senior, so he'll be leaving us. But the rest of the secondary beyond him is kind of looking a little rough, not going to lie. Our free safety is going to be this junior, Marquise Bufford. And then our strong safety, Isaac Gifford, 85 overall senior. So he's looking pretty good as well. Our kicker, with 94 kick power, we should be able to hit long ones, but we got to be accurate because his kick accuracy is only 71. And, of course, the punter. Now, if any of these players you guys know, you're a Nebraska fan, give me a little background on them. Tell me a little bit about them. We can come up with some storylines. But we're going to go ahead and get into our game here against UTEP. I'm going to show you guys the intro and see what we're doing here in game time. We're going to go with our default uniforms. We're going to keep their uniforms. We're going to give them some colored pants to kind of, no, not jersey, pants to kind of differentiate. And then again, we're going with the Nebraska playbook and the 3-3-5 defense, which is what they run. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute and let you guys see the intro to the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And I forgot I turned in-game commentary off. I'm going to have to turn that back up for the next game, so sorry about that one, guys. One reason I like this team, though, is they have a big stadium. We can definitely, whenever we get good again, have this stadium rocking. And we should definitely win this game today. But let's go ahead and get into it with the opening kickoff. So we're going to be starting out on defense here. Let's see what we can do. See how this team performs. Looking at their quarterback, Skylar Locklear, 74 overall. Not too worried about Skylar, to be honest with you guys. So let's look at this 3-3-5 defense. I think they're going to start running the ball. We're going to send a little heat, run a little man coverage. And you can see our stadium rank up there in the top right is already 17th. So this is going to be a tough place to play for opposing teams. He starts off with a little nice throw there, gain of 9. So we're going to go ahead and send a little bit more pressure. I think they're definitely going to run the ball this time around. And they do, and our player there, number 5, kind of got confused about what was going on. I think he thought the quarterback was going to keep that. One thing I'm already seeing with this defensive playbook, though, is there's not many formations to stop the run. You're really relying a lot on corners and DBs to do that heavy lifting. Do expect a run here, though, and it is going to be one. We try to hit a gap, we get blocked, but our other players make the play. Run a little cover 2 here. The computer in this game loves to do short, quick passes, so I'd like to do hard flats, try to take away some of that. And we get some pressure there. Who was that? Jamari Butler getting our first sack of the season. So we're going to go ahead and run a little cover 3 here on a 3rd and 18. We're going to go ahead and commit to the pass because that's definitely what they're going to have to do. He's going to scramble and he's going to get hit, but he does throw it away, but it's not going to do much for them as they're going to have to punt here on 4th and 18. See what our returner can do. I'm pretty sure that's the 97 speed wide receiver, but I'm going to fair catch that. I don't think we're going to do much with it with how that blocking worked out. You can see our top players there, Tommy Hill, the 89 overall corner, and Bryce Benhart, the 85 overall right tackle. So they run more of a pro-style offense. So that's how I'm going to treat it. I'm going to run it like it's an NFL offense, maybe like an old-school ground and pound style team, a little bit of play action. We're going to start with a little run here, and we do have a hole. Man, if he could have broke one tackle, he would have been gone, but that's still a good gain there. A 13-yard gain to start off. Go ahead and change up this formation. So we only have 3 single back formations, which is a little disappointing, but we're going to run a little play action. We just got a good run. See if we can confuse them a little bit. So we got Lloyd coming across the middle. I'm just going to take the check down. Nobody was really open down the field. And it's a gain of nothing. Want to try to be smart with the football, though. Don't want to turn the ball over because that's how a team like UTEP can kind of stay in the game, is if you turn the football over and give them opportunities to score. Gonna run a little stretch run here and get tackled, but a gain of 9 on that play. Now we're gonna go ahead and run a little fullback dive here, get a yard. Hopefully, yep. Blocking worked out well. We just had to cut it to the outside just a bit. Let's run a little gun here. So for a pro-style offense, there still is a lot of shotgun formations. So that's obviously what they want us to do here. We're going to run a little halfback swing pass, get our quarterback kind of adjusted into the game a little bit, and he throws a good one. You can see with our halfback there, the little joystick pops up. That means that guy is shifty. He can run around defenses and kind of cut quickly. Let's run a little speed option. I know our quarterback's not the best runner, but this is something that has to be part of our game, and we get it out just in time. He makes he stiff arm, gets him off of him. Little spin move. Wow, this running back is carrying this football team right now. Although I think we're kind of switching them out. I think that might have been a different one. So Jameer, yeah, so this is a different running back than was just on the field last play. And they can see, if you look at DJ, the bottom of his player icon there, he is in the red. That means he is at high risk of injury and is not going to be playing well this game. I guess he took that big hit on that option, and that's going to affect how he plays possibly for the rest of this football game. Let's go ahead and run some slants here, see if we can't get a pass play to work against these guys. I'm going to put Coleman here on a streak. Although it looks like it's cover 2, which it is. We're going to go ahead and just layer that in. That wasn't really a layered throw. I don't know why I said that, but just kind of shoot that in there. You can see up there, DJ, Rayola, not DJ, whatever his name is, losing 5 throw power and 4 speed. I'll learn the names of these guys eventually as I play more into the rebuild, but I'm still pretty new to this team. And that's in the first quarter. It's a quick one. Yeah, the first quarter and the third quarter go pretty quick with these settings. And as you can see, they're absolutely dominating, as we should be. But the last 2 minutes of each half usually go pretty slow. I didn't even pick a play, but sure, we'll run this. And we have the space, and we get down to the 1. So yeah, as you can see, we're kind of switching out the running backs with each formation, which is good to have a 2-headed monster, especially with how good both of those running backs are. We're going to try to punch it in here, though, on 2nd and goal. See if we can, and no. Their defensive player shot the edge and just took us out in the backfield. So we're going to have to pass here on 3rd and goal and see what we can do. I think we're going to run a jet sweep, but not actually, and just fake it and see if we can get the defense going one way and throw it the other. So we fake it there. They blitz. We got a guy. No, wow. That was almost bad. Do we go for it or do we take our points? I think we go for it here. So what I saw on that play is I saw him kind of come down, but then he backed off like he was blitzing. Good play by him. Fooled me. So we're going to go ahead and run a little play action here, see if we can't punch this one in. We got a guy. Good throw. Well, not a great throw, but the receiver makes the adjustment, and we score our first touchdown of the Dynasty. That goes to Lloyd, the kick returner. Don't remember his first name right off the top of my head. I'm sure they'll tell us here in a second. As we take a look at the mascot there. Jalen Lloyd, the sophomore wide receiver, gets the first touchdown of the season. Thrown behind him, but he makes the adjustment and gets the TD. Let's go ahead and kick in the extra point here. Looking good. And we take a 7-0 lead against these UTEP Miners. 5-minute drive there. Took a lot of time off the clock. But that's kind of what we want to do. We want to play good defense, keep the ball a lot on offense, run the ball, short passing game. Keep it out of the hands of the offense, because when we start playing the good teams, that's going to matter a lot. Alrighty here. Let's get this crowd pumped up a little bit. So they go with the run to the outside. They got some space and get 8 on that play. Let's go ahead and send another blitz here on 2nd and short. They're playing a formation with receivers all the way to the outside, maybe trying to open up space for the run game. No, they're going to run a little screen. That's going nowhere. Man-to-man coverage, he bit on that instantly. Alrighty, here we got a 3rd down coming up, 3rd and short. Let's see what this offense dials up. Let's get this crowd into it. They're going to run the ball, and they're not going to get it. 2 men on the ball there, 2-man tackle. Stops him from picking up any extra yardage. And we take them down. We're going to get the ball back here with 3 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. This one, we are going to have an opportunity to return. And we're going to break one tackle. We're going to cut it to the outside, but he gets taken or slowed down from behind, which allows them to catch up and take him down, but still a really good return. So let's start off with another run. Let's run a counter to the strong side. They're really loading up the box here, but I still think we can maybe be able to pick up some yardage. I saw a little hole in the middle, kind of closed quick though, but we do pick up 3 yards. It's a little I formation. Let's go ahead and run a stretch to the right side. Actually, I wanted to run this to the left. I didn't realize that's where the space was, so we're going to flip the play. Got a little bit more space to work with over there. And the blocking worked out. Down. He had to have been down, right? And he's going to pick it up. And he's going to take it back for a touchdown. Hopefully our running back was down. It certainly looked like it to me that he was down on that play. They're not saying he was. I'm going to challenge it. Let's take a look. He's clearly down. Elbow. Ball's out. I mean, this needs to be overturned. Let's see what they decided. And they do overturn that. I thought that was going to be a booth review. It didn't trigger, so I had to call or going to go ahead and challenge that play. Luckily, that worked out for us. But now we do have a 3rd and 5. Going to have to convert here. Going to be looking for the short pass. They're going to send a little pressure, but that leaves a guy open underneath. We're going to try to spin, but we get taken down short of the line of game. We're going to bring this down to the 2-minute warning, and we are going to be going for this. 4th and short on the opposite side of the 50. We should be able to overpower this front 7. Now, they are loading the box, so I'm going to go ahead and switch this play. I'm going to put circle on an out route. And we're going to go ahead and block R1 just in case they do blitz, block our running back. But I think circle is going to be open here on the out route. And he was, but DJ cannot make the throw. The freshman in his first game at the college level makes a big mistake. Will that come back to bite us? We'll have to wait and see. But now they have a chance to answer here before the end of the half. His running back's open, but he has to throw it away. He has nothing open down the field. And the pressure was starting to get there. Let's run a little cover 3. Seems like he's struggling with it. Let's get this crowd in it a little bit. He's got a guy open underneath, but he's just going to throw it away again. I mean, the guy was sitting there. Could have tried to make a move. Now he's coming out in an empty back or empty set. So we're going to send pressure at him. The pressure doesn't get there, though, which leaves a guy open on the outside. That's unfortunate. Probably should have just played back with how well our defense has been playing and covering these guys. They get a nice completion on 1st down there. It's going to be 2nd and 3. We're going to send a little bit more pressure, though. Oh, I don't know about this play, actually. I'm trying to cover everything, but I can't cover that as the corner route or some sort of corner route gets open for him. Let's go back to cover 3. That's what's been working against this QB. He can't beat it. Let's get the crowd into it a little bit. We get pressure, but it is not a sack as he gets the ball off. I think that was our big-time D tackle there on that play. Now we got 2nd and 10 here. I saw that guy open a little bit too late. They're going to have 1st and goal down at 3. And again, no really loading the box kind of formations here, so we're going to have to go with the 3-3-5 split. Well, this doesn't look too bad. They're going to run a jet pass here, so we got to be out there to get it. We do force them inside, which allows our other players to make the play, and they're going to call a timeout. That kind of helps us. I don't think their time was really that much of a problem for them. We're going to cover 3. We're going to do hard flats to try to stop the short pass. We need to get this guy outside a little bit more. And I get stuck on D-line trying to switch. But we do get a sack there. Who is that? It's not going to tell us, but it looked like number 0 on the D-line. Nash Hutmatcher. That's our big-time D-tackle. Gets in there, makes the play. Need one stop here to hold these guys to a field goal. We need the crowd to get into it. And they do. And we get another sack. And we're going to call timeout here. Give our offense a chance to get the ball back before the end of the half. We held UTEP to 3 points. If they can make this field goal. And they do, right down the middle. One thing I noticed in this game is the field goal units rarely ever miss. Although I did have one the other day where he missed like a 20-yarder, which was nice to see because, you know, this is college and they do miss a lot. All right, we're going to see what Floyd can do here as a return man. Unfortunately, the blocks didn't work out, and we only got it down to the 50, or 15, excuse me. So we have 30 seconds here to try to make something happen. Let's see if DJ can redeem himself after that missed pass on the previous drive. Don't really have anything. We're going to go ahead and get it to square there. Again, not trying to make anything crazy happen, so we're just going to run hurry up. If we can't get anything out of this drive, that's okay by me. But we're still going to try to move the ball at least a little bit here. We have X. It's a bad pass again. But we do get the completion. Luckily, that corner wasn't too close onto him because he did throw it behind him. If he would have been closer to that receiver, he might have been able to make a play on the ball. Alrighty, let's see here. We need something that's a little bit deeper. We're going to do the fake jet and see if we can't get something open down the field here. They're pressing Lloyd. He has good speed. Maybe he can beat him off the line there. But they do have a high safety. But we have X, but that's crowded in there. And they make a play on the ball. I thought X was going to get open there, but he did not. Still got time for one play here. See if we can't get into field goal range. Remember, we do have a kicker with a big leg. We got a guy open in the middle of the field, and we get it to him, and we have a timeout with 1 second left. I think it's worth trying the field goal. Let's see how far this field goal would be. Good throw there, laying it in there just where he could get it on his little hip there. But he had that safety coming from over top. 60 yards, we're going to try it. Look at that meter down there. This is going to be a miracle. Oh, we have 15 yards of wind. Yeah, this ain't going in, guys. I did not realize the wind was this bad. But we get it right down the middle. Oh, but it's red. But man, if that wind wasn't there, I think he would have hit it. But we are going into half 7-3, not where we expected to be against the struggling UTEP team. But we're going to have to see what we can do here in the second half. But we do start off with the football, which is good to see. I want to get back to that ground and pound style of offense. We need to put points on the board here. We cannot lose to UTEP. That would be a terrible start to this rebuild and this dynasty. Because if we can't beat UTEP, I don't think we have much of a shot against other Big Ten teams. So we're going to start off on the ground here. We're going to cut it to the outside. That's where we had space. And we get a gain of 12 there. If you can see Ramir, he has 6 rushes for 56 yards, so he's averaging almost 10 yards to carry. So we need to keep giving him the football. Got a little run pass option here. We're going to go just keep it for the run, spin it back inside, which allows us to pick up 5. Now I think it's time we run a little play action here after 2 run plays. See if we can't find somebody open here. Nobody was open there for me, so I throw it away. Maybe I had a guy right when that play action ended, but they're doing a good job covering us down the field. So let's put a little bit more, put a few more receivers out there. Maybe muck things up for them a little bit. We're going to run a double post here. I'm actually going to bring R1 on a deep, no, not a deep cross. Let's go ahead and just slant him, actually. So we got a lot of stuff going over in the middle. Hopefully we can confuse these DBs. And he's open. We get it to him. He hangs on and picks up some more yardage, getting us on the opposite side of the 50 here. Let's go ahead and run a halfback screen. We haven't ran one of those. See if we can catch this defense blitzing or something like that. And they are blitzing. And we get it to him. Does he have the speed to beat him? He does. He gets around the corner. And he has enough for the first down. Great play there by the running back. And you can see Dylan, not DJ, Dylan, is 10 for 14, 89 yards, and a TD. So he's playing pretty well other than that one missed throw on that fourth down, which cost us a possession. Well, let's get back to running this ball a little bit. They are going to send heat, but we're able to get outside, and number 28, our backup running back, gets into the game and takes advantage of it. Quentin Ives, with his first run of the game, he's making the most of it. All right, we're going to run this mountain pump and go. See if we can catch this defense. Now I see they're pressing our good receiver there. We're going to see if we can get him to beat that man coverage, and he does. He's going to be open in the back of the end zone. Just needs to make the catch, and he will. Dylan lays a perfect pass at the back of the end zone, hits him in stride, and we get our second touchdown of the game and our second passing touchdown there for Dylan Raiola. This one's Isaiah Neor, the senior, who gets open, beats the press, and drags the toe. Great play there from the Cornhuskers. This might actually miss. We kind of went left there, but we do squeeze it in there. All right, we take a 14-3 lead here against UTEP. Let's see what we can do on defense here and see if we can get this team off the field quickly. Wouldn't be a good look if UTEP's able to drive down the field on us. Although if you looked at the stats there, I know it kind of went quickly, they only have -6 rushing yards. So we're doing a good job stopping the run. They're going to run this time again. And we only hold them to 3 there. So this defense is doing a great job against the run. Oh, I'm going to call a timeout there. It allowed me to pick the play, and then I accidentally switched to a blitz, and I made an adjustment that might have cost us something big there. So I wanted to make sure we get the right defensive play out there. We don't want to give UTEP a free touchdown, that's for sure. Another run, another 3 yards. I think here on third down, we're going to send a little pressure. We're going to make this quarterback make a quick decision and see what we can do here. They're going to keep the running back in, so I'm going to rush. He tries to throw it, and it's actually overthrown. Good play there by the defense. I was actually going to try to jump that route and perhaps pick it off. But it was overthrown, maybe luckily for the quarterback. Otherwise, we might have been going the opposite direction with that one. So with a 11-point lead, we want to continue to run this ball, run this clock out. But we also don't want to play too conservative. So we're going to go ahead and hand it off. We got space. Use our blocks. Good blocking on that play. And you can see we have 8 rush attempts with 73 yards for Johnson. He's playing really well today. The offensive line is as well. So we're going to continue to go to the ground here. See what we can do. He played the outside pretty well there, the defender did. So only able to pick up 3 on that play. We're going to go ahead and run a play action pass here. See if we can't hit Lloyd over the middle. We're going to get it to our tight end, who's kind of running a little delay route, look like there. If we hadn't gotten that ball out just then, we would have been taking a sack. So a good throw by Dylan Raiola, sorry. But here on 3rd and 1, we're going to run the ball, see if we can't get 1 yard, and we have way more than 1. Let's let 16 pick up the block, and he does. And we're out of here. Great blocking by the offense, by our wide receiver. And we score our first rushing touchdown of the season here for Johnson. And it was a good one. We are starting to pull away in this game against UTEP. Kick the extra point, making it 21-3 Cornhuskers. But again, this is what we expected for this team. We're better. We're a better program. We're a better football team right now than this UTEP Miners team. We needed to come out here and win this football game in convincing fashion, and right now that's what we're doing. But we still have a quarter and a little bit left of football here, so we need to finish this game out and finish it strong. They're going to run the ball. He had nothing going down the middle, tried to cut it outside, but couldn't make it work. So let's see what we can do here. On 2nd and 10, we're going to run cover 3. They're probably going to have to pass it here. Would be surprised if they run. They're going to run a little screen play or just a quick out to the wide receiver, and they pick up a lot of yardage there. We just didn't have a lot of guys to the outside on that play, which allowed them to pick up a lot of yardage. But that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter with our Cornhuskers with a 21-3 lead over these UTEP Miners. And we're going to see if we can finish this game out and start the season off 1-0. First and 10 here to start the 4th quarter for these Miners. They're going to have to make something happen here. And that's not a good start, throwing the football off the butt of his receiver. He's saying that's his bad. I don't think it was. I think that receiver needs to turn around and look at the football perhaps. But now 2nd and 10 here. Again, they kind of have to pass the football here, down 18 with just over 5 minutes of football. And he absolutely throws a dot. Gets it right in between those two safeties, and they're going to score. Just what UTEP needed. They needed a quick touchdown, and they get it there with a over 50-yard reception touchdown. A great throw, perfect timing. I thought we could perhaps make a play on the ball there with our safety, but we were just short of that, which allowed them to break free for that big-time TD. But now we need our offense to step up here, take some time off of this clock. We're going to go ahead and just fair catch that and take it at the 25. Again, this run game is working well, so I think we should stick to it. We have a 11-point lead. Need to take some time off the clock here. We'll run a run pass option, see if we can get the circle, but he was not open. Oh, man, I thought we were about to break another one there. But their defensive tackle made a good play to hold us to just 8. But still a good first down play. And they are loading the box. They know that we want to run the ball. And we are going to continue to run it because we're still getting good blocks here from our O-line. And Ramir Johnson is having a day with 12 rushes, 145 yards, and, of course, the touchdown. Let's run a little read option, see what Dylan Raiola can do. Now, I actually don't like the read option in this circumstance because we're reading an outside corner. That usually doesn't work out too well. So we're going to switch to just a basic inside zone run. And there's plenty of space for Ramir Johnson, who picks up 8 on that play. Let's get Dylan involved a little bit. Let's give him a nice, easy completion. We're going to run this PA slide where the tight end should be wide open. I don't think they'll be expecting this. So we run the play action. He kind of gets caught up on the O-line there, but he is still open. And that's more than enough for the first down. Our big tight end there making a good play. Picking up about 10 yards on that one. Let's go ahead and get this running game going again. Break out the I formation. We're going to run a little halfback toss and see what Ramir Johnson can do. Looks like he's going to have a lot of space there on the outside, and he does. The blocks pick up, but he kind of breaks free of it a little bit. So 16 had that big block on that previous run. They're kind of a little disappointing, but we still pick up 5. Still on schedule here. And you can see we're just milking that clock, and they realize it. They're loading the box. Going to try to stop this run. But we're running it to the outside, and it looks like we have a flag on the play. This one might be coming back. And it looks like it is. That tight end that just made that big catch for us gets called for the holding. Thomas Verdun. And again, sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong, but it's unfortunate holding call. It's going to bring us back to 2nd and 12, but we still want to run the ball here, and for good reason, because Ramir Johnson is just different today. He's going to beat them all. He's going to score a touchdown, his 2nd of the game, well over 150 yards rushing, 2 TDs. Heisman, question mark? This kid is playing out of his mind today. This offensive line, he's over 200 rushing yards on the day. And it's got to be to this offensive line, to these receivers. These guys are making tremendous blocks, wide open lanes for him to run. But man, 200 yards, 2 TDs is a great way to start the season. For the senior, I believe he is. And we get a big hit there. We have 3 minutes left here. We need to stop these UTEP Miners just one more time here to get out of Nebraska with a win. Little quick pass. They can have that all day right now. They can have that short stuff. Just can't give them anything deep. Can't give them like we did last drive. He had a guy open on the outside, but it says it goes to the right. He had a guy open on the left, wide open. But now we do have him in 3rd down. So we're going to try to send some pressure here. See if we can't get to this quarterback. They pick up the blitz, but we're there. What a break on the football by our star corner, Tommy Hill. And now this game has gotten out of hand. 35-10, Nebraska. You guys, with the last few minutes of that game, we went on to win 45-10, getting another pick 6 right after I stopped recording, and also a field goal to end the game. So we took care of business against a UTEP team, which we definitely should have. Let's go ahead and advance the week here before ending today's episode to see if any of our players win Player of the Week, and I think we should have a couple here. And you can see here, we don't lose out on any of our recruits just yet, and we're still in the first place for a lot of them as we start the season off 1-0. But of course, UTEP is a team we definitely should beat, and Javen Wright is going to win the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week with that interception, 2 tackles. And next week, we're going to be taking on Colorado. So make sure, if you guys are interested in the series and like the content, to like, subscribe, comment anything I should know about Nebraska football, any of these players on this team that you guys want me to know about, any suggestions you have for the series in the future. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.